Good afternoon, I'm Chief Meteorologist Sabrina. Fine temperatures today, they don't vary greatly. Looking at Del Mar, about 68 degrees. That's the same value in Campo all the way inland. Coming up, we talk about the small warm-up we have in store. You're watching CW6 News at 4. Oh, the clouds were around. It was perfect to have and sort of those pumpkin treats. It looks like that is not going to be the case tomorrow, though, and the heat to come our way. Ramona, you are only at 70 degrees. You could actually set a record for the coldest high temperature for this date. Your winds are also about 9 miles per hour. I think everyone is going to see our winds slightly increase tomorrow, though. We should see them closer to about 10 to 20 miles per hour. We have that dip in the jet stream. That is that cool pool of air continuing to roll right over Southern California, keeping our temperatures about 5 to 20 degrees cooler than normal for today, but it is pushing to the east, and it will be gone by tomorrow afternoon, and as a result, temperatures start to climb. I think we could actually end up being seasonal by Saturday and warmer than normal by the time we get to next work week. Hour by hour, here we go at around 6 o'clock tonight. Overcast skies pretty much stretching back in. You're only looking at about the 60s for the coast. That'll also be the same values for inland areas. So temperatures for the most part are going to seem fairly similar. The one exception obviously out toward the mountains, bottoming out in Palomar into the low 40s. Same for you out over toward Pine Valley when you wake up tomorrow morning. Temps along the coast though about 62 degrees out toward Encinitas. Usually we're about 66 when we wake up into downtown San Diego. By the time we get to the afternoon, the sunshine, it is out there, and look, no longer are we talking about the 60s for inland communities. We have 78 degrees out toward El Cajon, 74 for you up through Escondido. Remember, the wind is going to be a little bit stronger, though, 10 to 20 miles per hour. The coastline still going to have that very slow warm-up, only on into the lower 70s for you there. But as we continue to push on into Thursday, noticing those temperatures continuing to warm, although still remaining slightly cooler than normal. So go ahead, if you still want to go ahead and maybe order the nice hot pumpkin spice latte, you can do that with temperatures only into the upper 60s out toward Encinitas, but inland areas obviously a little cooler. Lakeside going for 81 degrees, and out into Chula Vista, you're on into the mid-70s. Cooling off in the waters, does look like some stronger sets will be found north of Carlsbad, occasionally getting up to about 7 feet. Fair conditions for you surfers with your high tide coming in at around 8:30 in the morning. Coming up, we'll talk more about the high wind work. Some of the high winds that we're dealing with right now, noticing them sustained in San Diego at around 12, Imperial Beach also up to around 12 miles per hour. But a wind advisory continues out toward the mountain and deserts. That's going to last until about 9 o'clock tonight, where we could still actually see some of those gusts closer to 45 to 55 miles per hour. In fact, they are forecast to peak tonight, right before that advisory expires. You can see the gust forecast. Once we get closer to about the 8 o'clock hour, out into the deserts, possibly 36 miles per hour, and into Mountain Laguna around 24. We will see our winds increase right along the coast, though, starting off tomorrow close to the noon hour. But once we get to close to about 2:30, we're seeing some of those 15-mile-per-hour winds there coming in out over toward Mira Mesa and 14 in Ramona. Coming up, we'll talk more about your 7-day forecast. Guys? Temperatures out over toward Borrego, El Cajon, and Campo set records for having the coldest high temperature, only climbing to 74 in El Cajon, 70 degrees out toward Campo. The good news? We're going to all start to warm up tomorrow. In the last 24 hours, though, you can see the warm-up beginning right along the coastline. Still the mountains and deserts that are struggling, about 10 degrees cooler than where you were this time yesterday. That puts you currently at around 83 in Borrego. Pine Valley, 62 degrees. Out into Lakeside, you're up to about 73 degrees for you. A broad picture what's happening across the country. Still dealing with rain out over toward Florida. A storm system, they say, about a 40% chance it could actually develop into something tropical. Will then begin to move up throughout Georgia, South Carolina tomorrow, bringing them about 4 inches of rainfall. Yeah, I said 4 inches of rain. By the way, we've been talking about how cold it is here. At least we are not out over toward Minnesota. Frost advisories are in effect, where it will drop to 33 to 37 degrees. We don't have that kind of chill. 7-day forecast, 74 degrees tomorrow for the coast, staying into the lower 70s until upper 90s by Thursday for you. That's a look at your 7-day forecast.